Well, hello and welcome to Ticket to Life. And I hope that since we last got together, something or someone has made you feel wonderful or terrific or marvelous. And I mean that because we all deserve to feel wonderful and terrific and marvelous. We just do. Every single person on this planet deserves that. And it may not last long, that feeling, but just for that 1 minute, that few seconds, if it makes you smile, that's awesome. Place it in your memory bank because we all have that. So if you're having a really bad day, you can pull it out and smile just for a minute and make you feel good because we deserve it. If we all tried to do this when we were having a rough day, it would help us get through whatever we are going through. And I am trying to make people smile or laugh or something. Just my nature. And let me know how it works for you. Hopefully you can do that because if everyone did that, wow, that's awesome. And be thankful for that person that made you feel that way or that moment. You know, even if you just bought something for yourself, that would be amazing. So anyway, if you are new to Ticket to Life, welcome, welcome, and welcome. And I always open my doors for anyone except for thieves or really bad people. I am not a fan of those. And I know they need love too, but could you find some other place to bother other people that don't mind being around thieves and nasty people? Because I just do not have time for that in my life. And I will tell you, face to face with no hesitation, I don't have time for that because I do not have time for a lot of things. Life is short. And I just don't. I mean, again, as you get older and more mature, you realize you don't have time for a lot of stuff like that. So today, okay, I wanted to talk about honesty or just plain truth, just being truthful. Now, how many of you can literally be truthful with someone you are close to? Can you be truthful to someone you really don't know? You hardly know the person and you start chatting with them and you feel so comfortable. You feel, oh, I'm going to be truthful. Now, I can. And that can be hurtful. And I try my best to be tactful. Or I could just not say anything, right? Now, tactful people are usually sensitive and appropriate with the way they say things. And they have that ability to say things at the right time, at the right place, and not blurt it out in front of 100 people. We try not to offend, or at least I do. I try not to offend anyone in any way because I don't like my feelings hurt, so why would I want to hurt someone's feelings? Although I have to admit, most of the time I really am not tactful. I do try my best, and I've gotten better as I've aged. And now I will not blurt it out in front of a lot of people, but I will call you out if it is something that I know is true. But don't worry, I will I'm going to pull you aside. I'll pull you aside. And if you choose to share it with people, because people are always going to say, what did she say? That's all your business. If you want to make it their business, go ahead. But more than likely, you will not share. If I have to call you out on something, it's probably not good. So, but I won't. I'll do it. I'll do my best to do it tactfully. Like if you hurt someone's feelings and it's not a big deal, I may come and tell you. You know what you said was very hurtful. If I had told you that, I don't know. Some people just don't think, and sometimes I am one of those people. I just don't think before I speak. But I do love people, and people like me. Notice I said they like me. I didn't say they love me. But I am a good listener. And if you share something with me, then I might need to share it with someone else who I know, that I trust, that I can share. Because sometimes things you just have to share. I mean, and now I know anyone who has shared something very intimate or very secretive with me, they're shaking in their boots right now. But FYI, I said I might share with someone. Why would I share? Only because I don't think that many people realize how much they share with about their personal life, including myself. if they share something, it can be overwhelming sometimes. It's when people feel comfortable to tell, not that, no, there have not been any confessions that I need to get a hold of Dateline or anything, but there have been so many people in my life that have just shared things. And sometimes when you start thinking about them, you can become overwhelmed. I know I have. So luckily, I used to tell my pup, Arthur, but Arthur's had to go across Rainbow Bridge. And I can't talk about that because it's still pretty emotional that he's not here. But now I have some fish. So I might tell my fish. They're not going to tell anyone. So, and now I do wonder how do the Catholic priests do this? Or any minister? Because people feel comfortable, and people should, with the man of the cloth or the woman of the cloth, to be able to go and talk to them. But now the Catholic priests are listening to all these sins. And then you know that some may be dying to tell someone what you did or what he heard in that confessional booth. Why? Because it's probably overwhelming. And it's nice that they have that you can, you can go and tell what is you've done. And you're wanting to be truthful. But deep inside, I'm wondering if the Catholic priests are dying to tell you you're a bad person and you need to get some help ASAP in the back of their mind. But that is not how they're taught. But instead, they go and say, go do 3 Hail Marys and 1 Our Father, and you're good to go. I'm not sure about that because I don't know. Yes, I'm Catholic, about telling that just doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to get into the religious thing, but it just doesn't, telling the truth to someone, and it doesn't always make you feel better, and you can still go pray. And I know you're supposed to let it go. Don't live in the past, live in the now, make the good choices for the future. But sometimes I just think those priests probably, they can't discuss what they've heard in the confessional booth, but that some are just dying to share with their fellow brothers. I know I would. Again, I have plenty of secrets of my own and plenty of those secrets that others have shared that I have to take to the grave. Luckily, I forget a lot of those secrets, and I try to forget my secrets, so you don't really have to worry. But there's a movie, and it's called A Few Good Men. It's with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. It is Jack Nicholson, isn't that? Well, I think so. And it was made in 1992. And don't be impressed by the year because I had to look up the year. And and in the movie, Tom Cruise says, "You can't handle the truth," and a lot of us can't. Now, the movie's about a young naval lawyer who has to defend someone who is being accused of murder. But back to the truth thing, we cannot handle the truth. Well, most of us cannot. We cannot handle the truth about our life, our family, our jobs, our friends, our kids. And we don't want to hear the truth about someone we thought we knew. I don't want to hear what people think of me unless they're kind words. But you know what I mean, hateful things. I mean, no one wants to hear hateful things about yourself, excuse me. But for some reason, some people have the need to let you know what they really think of you. And that's okay. They're being truthful. And usually it is someone who you thought you knew well and thought that they were always kind to you because they liked you, but you find out they were only kind to your face. And you're going to later find out that they were only trying to set you up. Have any of you ever been in this situation? Because I have. And I know that sounds awful, but in life, some have the need to pretend to be truthful and your friend and pretend to be truthful again. And we buy it and later find out it was only when they got what they needed from you and they were done with you. Yes, I had, past tense, a friend like that. But now, if you can't be truthful about the way someone looks and what they are wearing, and they think they look like $1,000,000, but you think they look like they just woke up and forgot to wash and style their hair and are still in their workout clothes, and you tell them, that's just rude. That's just being rude. And yet someone like myself would say, you look great. Although I would be thinking differently, and someone else might come up behind me and say something like, you don't have time to change today, do you? Did you even get yourself together today? Did you, what is going on with what you have on? Have you ever been around? I literally have heard this, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, Henrie said that I look great. That's when my eyes started bulging out. I was like, oh my God, they're being so rude. That's not being funny. Although, again, some family and friends can tell you that, I mean, be very blunt and tell you, and you accept it. And why? Because that's just who they are. and hopefully they're not being rude. They're trying to be a positive outlook, like, hey, that doesn't look well on you. But I don't know. I can't tell people they look bad. You know what? You are who you are. If it makes you happy, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. So I will tell you that getting older, and I mean really older, like old people, now they can just be rude. Now, most grandparents, not all grandparents, but some grandparents will tell you the truth, and it won't even faze them or give them a second thought if it hurts your feelings or not. How many, or, it could be any family member or any person. But if it's a family member, it is more hurtful because they're your family, right? So with that, unfortunately, you have to have a stiff upper lip and chalk it up to them being older. And I mean really old. Now, for those that don't know what stiff upper lip means, it's an old saying, and it means to remain calm and just be poised. Just don't pay attention to what they're saying. Just let it just roll down your back. Just let it roll it down your back. You just gotta, okay, they're older, and I'm not gonna say a word. Oh no, I think I might be falling into the older category. No, just kidding. I think. But anyway, so I think that sometimes it's them just being honest. They're being, I don't want to offend anyone because I mean I'm 66, but who knows? I mean, when I say old, I mean like some people get older. Have you ever noticed? And they're just grouchy, and they tell you what's on their mind if you want to hear it or not. But for me, I am a spring chicken, so I don't feel like I'm that old. But wait, I'm sure some of you are saying, what's a spring chicken? There's another little thing. That means that you're a young person. But anyway, I think I am starting to fall in that category, aren't I? I know. I'm going to start saying more mature people instead of old. How's that? That sounds so much better, doesn't it? But so you have to accept these people who get older, and some people are old and crotchety, and I've already told my husband that if I get like that, and my kids, you better snap me out of it because I don't want to be like that. I just don't. Well, anyway, some of us don't know that they are. Some of us really don't know. Some people don't know, and older people don't know they're being rude. And it's just not older people. Oh my gosh, don't get me wrong. It's young people. It's and kids are really rude nowadays, but it's just being truthful. And some people have earned that right. If they've lived to be in their 80s, 90s, 100s, they've earned the right, but not to be rude. They're just being honest. Oh, by the way, Grandparents' Day is September 8th of 2024. So don't forget your grandparents, even if they're rude or not rude, being honest. So I know it's hard to be truthful because I know that we never want to hurt someone's feelings. At least I hope not. We have all been hurt by the truth about ourselves. And sometimes we do things and we don't even realize it's a bad thing. until we're called out on it, right? I've done it. And the truth does hurt. But if it helps us to be a better person, then you can be thankful for it. Thank the truth teller later. Thanks for calling me out because I really didn't know that I was being hateful. Or not even hateful. It's just, I don't know. I'm hoping none of you listeners are hateful. I hope. I hope. But I mean, I'm always saying we have two choices to make. We can make good choices, bad choices, just like we can use good words and kind words. But yeah, I fall into that category that sometimes I am truthful and don't think if I'm going to hurt someone's feelings. I made my friend cry once and she says, "Do you not think I'm a good mom?" I was not even talking about her. It was a group of us, and she started crying, and I felt horrible. I said, no, 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 you're a great mom. We were talking about, this was when I was in the school. So you see all sorts of parents in the school. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of parents, but mostly good. But there are some parents that were just rude and just hateful. And they would call you out on the simplest thing, and you're like, okay. And again, you know, when you're with people in an office, it is hard. You have to keep in mind that what you say, yeah, it's going to be hopefully truthful, because a lot of this stuff will come back and bite you if you're not truthful. So, here's some questions for you. Okay. Would you want someone to be honest, to tell you the truth if you look like $1,000,000, or would you rather someone honestly, you find out they're not being honest, tell you that what are you wearing? They look at you and why? Or would you rather someone be honest about what you're wearing, or would you prefer someone lied to you? I would rather someone be truthful with me, especially if I'm not sure about something I'm having on, that I may be wearing. Now, the next question is, if you know someone is doing something wrong at work or church, and instead of being honest and confronting them and tell them the truth that they're doing wrong and you know it, and could you help them? Can I help you do it the right way? Or could I help you stop doing what you're doing? Or would you just leave it and wait until they're called into the office and be embarrassed by the supervisor? And that it will get out, because there's never a secret in an office. There just is. There's no secrets in the church, for gosh sakes. Nothing is ever a secret, in my opinion, in a workplace, except maybe the confessions in the church, unless you have someone who is really loud and you're standing outside the booth in line waiting. You may hear those confessions, but anyway, you're not supposed to do that. But I said maybe. And you can answer these questions on my podcast platform, where it says, it's at the very top. It says, text us a message. On the top of the description, if you're listening on the radio, you can also email ticket2life022@gmail.com. Why do I want you to do this? Is because I am curious, and there's no worries. I will not know anything about you. I just would like to see what you're thinking about this. Would you help someone out? Would you be honest about with what someone's wearing? Or would you tell them the truth if it doesn't look well? I mean, if you saw J-Lo and some of her clothes, you want to say, you know what, that doesn't look well. But she looks pretty good at anything, but not everything. But of course, yes, I like J-Lo, so I hope I don't get a lawsuit from her or anything. But anyway, but I think that I'm just curious. I am curious. I'm always wondering. I know a lot of people listen to this podcast. And I'm always wondering, what are they thinking after they hear it? Do they have an opinion? Do they think, oh, she's right, she's wrong? I do have 130 some odd podcasts, and I am curious. Also, I'm going to include, if you go at the very top of the description, it will say send us a text. But at the beginning, I think I'm going to start putting a link because there's a website where you can get just all the podcasts and you can kind of go through them and see which one you'd like to hear. And let me know your opinion about that certain podcast. I'm just always curious because I'd like to hear what my listeners think about it. Try not to be too hateful, though. I don't want to get my feelings hurt. Now, for some people, this is totally, let's turn around the truth. And some people, all they know are lies. That's all they know. That's how they live their life. We helped volunteer at this function for the police department in Dallas. And somebody came up to us and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I just love you." I mean, my husband were there working. It wasn't working. It was volunteer and it was a lot of fun. But she says, "I just love seeing your posts on Facebook." Well, I'm like, what do I post? Because I don't really post a whole lot about my husband and myself, I don't think. And she said, "Y'all have such a fun life." And I'm like, I'm thinking she's confusing us with someone else. And I said, "Well, thank you. Those are all lies. We just like people to think that we have a fun life." So I guess I should go and check that out. But anyway, I do not lie on Facebook. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I mean, I just share with my friends and stuff on my personal Facebook page. And then, I have the Ticket to Life Facebook page and Instagram Ticket to Life. But I think it is true to what I said. A lot of people get on these social medias and tell lies about their life. I have nothing to lie about. I'm honest. When it comes to my life, it's my life and I love it. It's good. But I just thought that was kind of funny. I thought, well, I don't lie. But anyway, back to people. There are people that literally, they lie. And have you ever been with someone that is the person constantly lying? And everyone knows it. And yet you stand there and listen as though you're believing all that crap that they are saying. Why? Because you're being kind and you probably feel bad for them. Because I know I do when people lie. And it's like, everyone knows you're not telling us the truth. Again, I've had another friend. Actually, it was the same friend. And she lied a lot. Got her... and anyway, not a lot of people are fond of this person, but some of us don't want people to know what our life is really about. We don't want our people to know our true life about our past, our present. And so it is easier for them to tell a lie than to tell the truth. Now, unfortunately, for the constant liar, and yes, I have a podcast on lying, and it could come back and bite you in the butt. Because some people feel like they can get away with lies, and some people actually do. They can lie their entire life, and they can move from city to city, from job to job, because some people don't check their backgrounds. And they can live a lie. I could not even imagine living a lie all my life. So the best thing that we can do for ourselves and for others is be honest and be truthful. And, it's like Thumper says in Bambi, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I mean, that's pretty easy to remember. I'm remembering a bunny telling me that. So if I can remember that, you can too. I'm sure a lot of people have not seen Bambi and don't know who Thumper is. And anyway, but that's what Thumper says. So I'm going with what he says. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. So I believe that a lie will come out. Somehow, some way, I think people do get caught in lies. Now, if you can live a whole life full of lies, wow, congratulations to you. But I don't know. That's just telling me you do not have a very happy life. So, face it, it's always best to be actually tactfully truthful. Truthful to others and be truthful to yourself. Because you are the only one who knows what your life is about. And again, if your life isn't the best, make it better. Make it better for yourself. If things always seem like things just don't go your way, look around and figure out, what can I do to tweak my life? And I don't mean lie. I remember kids, and I myself, lying in middle school about having a boyfriend because but now I think, that's so dumb. Why would I have done that? Why did my friends do that? That's because we were all the lonely girls that didn't have boyfriends. So why not? Why shouldn't we pretend we all had a boyfriend? I think it is odd though, because I remember my made up boyfriend's name was Jeff. My husband's name is Jeff. There's always a connection in some way, somehow in life. But anyway, we really do need to be truthful to each other. And remember, Grandparents' Day, September 8th, 2024. Hopefully my kids will hear this. No, just kidding. But anyway, I think that we all deserve to have a happy day every day. And I know that's impossible, but we can have happy thoughts. And if those happy thoughts come from something that someone did for you, just put them, like I said, in your memory bank. If someone has lied to you, but you know the truth, usually you need to stay away from liars. No good. But be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to others. And sometimes I know we cannot handle the truth because the truth does hurt. But also, when someone does tell us the truth about ourselves, it's honestly sometimes can help us to improve be the person who we are socially, with our family, and just with life in general. So anyway, this is my take on we can't handle the truth. Until next week, I hope that this is truth thing will kind of carry on to you in case you ever get in that situation. Be kind. And I want to thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you next time. I want you to please remember, you have blessings each and every day in your life. And that's why I always end these podcasts with, go find your blessings. I will tell you, you are one of my blessings. So this is Henrie, and until next time, be truthful to yourself and go find your blessings.